Techniques that we've done that have really worked, and probably my favorite, we was telling Bessa, we always hear when things start to fail, oh, it's a training issue, it's a training issue. And so we train it, but that's not really it. It's an accountability after the training. They need to know how to do it. And, it was quick yesterday, but we talked about how to sketch, the mastering of sketch. But then now it's up to the managers and the designers to help hold that accountable. So first of all, you have to make sure that they know how to do it. But what we recommend, because a day can get ahead of you really fast, and if you have, salespeople are generally very optimistic. They have to be, because they have a lot of rejection. I don't think I could be a salesperson. It's hard, because out of 10 clients, 7 of them are going to say no to you probably. So that's hard. And so they're optimistic, but we have to keep them real as well. And so what we found, like in an average day, like today's Friday, in an average Friday, how many opportunities does an average salesperson get? Would you say?
2 to 3.
Okay. So let's just say it's 3 and you add 4. Okay. So what you do is, on their sketch, their development card, you number them at the beginning of the day. And you number 1, the next page you number 2, next page you number 3, and the next page you number 4. It is so simple. There is nothing fancy about this at all, but it works. Because what they'll think, you'll ask them at the end of the day, how'd you do today with your sketching? Oh, I was awesome. I sketched everybody. Well, you go and look, and yeah, maybe they sketched 2. Or, maybe they sketched 1, but they did well with it. They got in well. And follow up afterwards at the end of a day. I would do it every day for at least 2 weeks. Look through theirs and say, okay, let's see what you did. And then comment, okay, you did great. I see you starting to get this. I see you'll find auditory people will want to do lists, and they don't want to do the actual drawing of it. Or, some of them will just do little boxes, and that they think that that's it. They'll be small. So you can give them some good coaching insight by looking through those. And like, we don't consider a CDC, like to go into prospects or whatever, complete unless the name, address, phone number, email is great, but that's not really a client development. That's a raffle drawing, So making them understand that these will not go into your prospect list unless they're CDCs. And it'll change. It's a little harsh, but it'll change their thinking, because there's just no way that there's only been one in-home client that's walked in your guys' doors. It's just not, that's not real. So that's just a really good technique to get them to sketch. Then the other thing is, from the designer's point of view, I believe that if your customers are only seeing 2 to 3 clients a day, you might be, if you're not busy, you might be able to touch every single one of those people. So I'm a firm believer that your staff has to be able to accept that, kind of work out a system. I'm going to be walking by, I might be saying, hi, that's looking pretty. Feel free to bring me in. That's what I'm here to help. I'm here as support for you. We also have a real issue in our stores with, okay, you get that chair customer, and they come in and you start to develop them, and you don't take it any further because you're going, I really need a chair sale. I need a 1-for-1 today, and I want fabric protection, and that's a yay, good for me. But what do they leave on the table? And so teaching them some verbiage, like when you're working with a client and you get to the point of the chair, oh great, I think we've got this chair figured out. So, and with everything we're looking at about $1,000. So, just since you're here, and this may be way down the line, but there's a sofa, looking at your room, as we've talked about your room, there's a sofa that I just think would be absolutely gorgeous for you. And go ahead and nicely push that envelope a little bit. And then if they cut you off, that's fine. But when you're ready, come on and visit me. But in reality, a lot of them will end up buying, because we talk about, did you know, would you like to see the sofa that matches your chair? We talk about add-ons. You don't have to just add on a chair side table. You can add on a sofa. You can add on an in-home. So always be looking for more. But then if they, like I said, if they shut you down, well, great. Well, let's go ahead and take care of that chair today. And, I'll be giving you a little follow-up in a few months, see if you're ready for that sofa. Just to really always have them thinking what's possible, what's out there. What else do we want to talk about?
Yeah, I think that was it. I think that the key was numbering those sketches, Nikki.
Yeah.
So really meeting with each of your sales team today and saying, let's get your sketch pads and numbering it and dating it. So let's put down, 1 through 10 for today, 7, 17, 15. And so then, maybe at lunch we'll stop at 2 o'clock and look at how you're doing and coach that.
Okay.
It's like, did great, these sketches look good, but what I don't see here is like we did yesterday. I don't see these things here.
Yeah.
I don't see, all I see is like a line.
Right.
So let's develop that further. What was and learning what the challenge was in developing that sketch.
Yeah, and you can build that by having sketch of the day. Gets a scratcher ticket. Sketch of the week. You could announce it on a Saturday morning. Well, we have a winner. What do you think of this? And how did you get to this? What were the things you did? Put a little game within the game. They need to have a little fun with this. And then all of a sudden you're going to have people that say, yeah, I not only got a great sketch, I got a great in-home from this. And talk about some of those success stories. So that would be a really good.
I mean, I think just having blue ribbons,
oh yeah,
post it, in here, here is our blue ribbon sketch.
Yeah.
And then Matt used to have like the wall of shame.
Yeah, I do.
Like bad
that.
sketches,
Yeah.
this is on the wall of shame.
Right.
I have a question. Were
Yes.
you able to look at any of those sketches from yesterday, and did you have any insight on what you saw from those from yesterday?
I just glanced at them. I was looking across there. I didn't see area rugs on but one.
Oh, that was nice.
I know.
I have an area rug on mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, because I didn't. From where I was looking, I didn't see
And
any area rugs.
Yeah.
But mine's
so
kind
I
of a
was
cheat because I've sketched
I
Darius'
was
room
just
before.
Right.
It was a cheat. It was.
I was just kind of curious if you got to what your thoughts on them were. So.
Well, it reminds me. This is maybe a weird analogy, but you ever heard about? That's how they can assess a child's development is how they draw their pictures. And how if you have a little stick figure, that means that they have a very rudimentary understanding of their world. And then as they get fingers and hair and eyes, and that's kind of how I look at this too, as they get more understanding of this, more practice with it. And one of my favorite questions, like if you do a one-on-one role playing, just pull them out during a Saturday morning meeting, here role play with each other, and just the questions like what do you wish you would have been asked? It's one of my favorite questions. How close did they get? What do you wish they would have asked? What they did well? But you know what? If you go into a role play, you need to submerge yourself in that role play, and I become like that customer.
I know, it's really spooky.
Spooky.
It's very Meryl Streep.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just looking through. I brought a.
Like we were doing it, so she said, "Let's role play." I was like, "What?"
Exactly.
Okay.
I found this. I had stuck a bunch of stuff in my folder coming here. And this would be, I think for any store, great Saturday morning with the whole meeting, just nothing on. Exercises of the whys for an in-home. Why is an in-home for the client? Just goes through the things we talked about. No mistakes, greater rapport. Why is it beneficial to use a sales associate? We all know that. More money, getting out of the store, getting referrals. Makes you better. I mean, the more house calls they go on, the better they're going to get at this. Everybody's got to have a story. That's the other thing. Get those salespeople on installations so that they can say, oh my gosh, I saw what this room transformed into, and it's amazing. They got to have a story because that's how they're going to convince people to get house calls. Best practices, I don't know if I should read, but weave early, sketch early, look at phone photos, keep your sketchbook ready, keep your own in-home radar on, smoke out objections. This is one of my favorites. We've gotten pretty far, but I can only take you so far. Let's get the expert involved. Don't rush. Did you see how I pitched Bess yesterday? No, well, I talked about it. I'd like to tell you about a wonderful program. Make it as a benefit. You know what? This is, looking at your room, I want to make sure we do this room justice. Let me just tell you about something that we've been offering for several years, and it is just a wonderful program. And that way, it's not you selling them, it's saying, this is the best thing for you. Let's take advantage of it. Don't rush, take your time. Relaxed approach, share stories about clients' transformations. That's where you have that personal story. This is my favorite. I don't care if it's a room that's 4 sides with 1 door. I love using that. I can see this is a difficult room as a salesperson. And you're going, oh my gosh, this is so easy. It needs to be a sofa here. It needs to be a chair here. But you go, this is a tough one. I can see why you're having trouble with this. I just really think we should, let's just get our designer involved here. That's literally one of my favorites. And then just developing the client to build trust and find out their true needs. Also on here, it talks about what silent tools. What do we have that can draw you into in-home sales? The vignettes, 7 layers of design. The designers themselves, either, we found that when a designer is introduced beforehand, the sale goes up $2,500 on average. That was a crazy stat. We didn't even know. We found it. If you see presentations in progress, flip charts, bios, and design books, those are all silent tools that are huge. Also wanted to just mention there's client fears, and I'm sure you guys know what they are. I'm going to spend too much money. And these are things that your salespeople need to be prepared to talk about. That's why we get budget. That's why we find out what's comfortable. That's why we layer. What if I don't like what the designer picks? It's a big one. That's out there. Customers come in. They don't want to get another, they're scared. Well, that's why we're working with what you want.
Nikki's going through that right now.
Yes. It happens. And that's why we're asking you these questions, because the designer's going to lead, guide, and direct, but it's going to be what you love. We're going to just make sure it fits and it looks right and we put accents. Do I have to buy? That's a customer fear. Well, that's why we don't talk about pitching the in-home too early. When is the sweet spot for pitching an in-home? When do you think it is? In a transaction, you're working, you're sketching. When do you think you need to start? You can mention the designer through the sketch. Oh, our designers will mention this, or our designers would recommend this. But the sweet spot is when they have committed to upholstery. When you are now at upholstery, love this Maya sofa, and they've got fabrics, and that's when you, because no matter what, you're going to be able to write that, right?
Yeah.
And if you're doing the right job. So the sweet spot is don't do it too soon, and you don't want to do it too late, because if you do it too late, you may have sold too much that they don't need you. They don't need a designer. So there's that sweet spot. It's right there. Another one, I don't want strangers in my home. That's where trust and value comes in. Can I tell them about that game that we were going to play, but we ran out of time? This is an amazing game. We trained it about 2 months ago, and I will never forget it. And we approached the group, and there was about 20 of us, about like what you guys had. And we said, okay, Corporate Lazy Boy came to us, and they said, your program is so successful. We want to know what the most important ingredient of this is. And we gave them the list. Oh, I hope I have it here. Because I always forget one of them, and I'm going to forget one of them again. No, here it is. Okay. No, I don't have it. Darn it. Okay. So here are the 4 corners. And after you hear the corners, I want you to go to the one that you think is the most important. Let's
do it just a kind of a dry run on it.
Okay.
Matt, can you hand us 4 pieces of just printer paper? And we can do this real quick. I'd like for us to do this till 10:30.
Okay.
And then we'll break and start doing the romance part.
I found it.
Oh, good. And then because this is so valuable right now. I think this is awesome.
Okay.
But I want us to role play the weaving before we break up at
Okay.
10:30. I want us to practice what that looks like. Okay, what are your there?
So you want me just okay?
Yeah,
the
just write them
the
down.
first corner is budget. Oh, I didn't know I had a color coordinated pen. Because of my outfit.
Perfect.
And my glasses. I'm just really special. Total budget. First in the store, then in the home. Okay, is that the most important thing? Deposit and financing. Okay.
It's pretty important to some of us.
Yes, it's very important to all of us. That's what I'm saying. I think, is that the most important thing? Very possible.
Well, I was going to get everybody to go into a corner.
I know.
Do it on 4 pieces.
Can we do it
Yeah. We can
in
do
this
it.
room?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so that's what you want me to do. Okay, the first one is budget. Okay, who thinks budget is the most important thing? And I want you to stand over by the fridge. The next one is
Tape. Can you get us some tape now?
development. This is where sketch, frame and fabric, personal style, extra rooms, all those things that you get in a sketch. Bedroom and dining room opportunities. Okay, who thinks that's where it is?
What's the other one?
Budget.
Okay, budget, okay.
Next one, we know for a fact that customers buy for trust and value. We know that for a fact. They came to us because Lazy Boy's 87 years old, worth of quality. Their parents have had it. Now we understand that there's designers, so it's got to be trust. And trust in designer, trust in sales associate. That's the reason why we close 90%. We write $2 million a month. Or is it forecasting? Okay, time expectations. The process, what's going to happen. Like we said, they don't know what this looks like. Making sure they understand what's going to happen. Who needs to be there? And yeah, and all decisions. So there's your four corners.
Can we stand in the middle and have all of them in one?
Yeah.
Exactly. So go to the one you think is the most involved.
Okay, so they are budget, development, trust and value, forecasting. So.
I'm having a hard time.
But trust
I know.
is so important.
Exactly.
It's also important.
Okay,
I'm
I'm
gonna go over
going
here.
to.
Over here.
I'm in the middle.
Are you in
Not,
the
you
middle?
cannot.
can't.
But you have to take a side.
You're
You
not,
have to have
there
a
is
side.
no
Have
middle.
to-
Have to
Yes,
go
one
somewhere.
must choose.
Although you know
Okay.
what, I think I'm gonna go
I'm going to
here.
participate.
Yeah, I want to be.
I'm
a
over here.
Okay, what'd you choose?
Forecasting.
Forecasting,
Process.
okay. What did you
Forecasting is
choose,
the
trust and value?
If I have to
And you
choose
have to
one.
choose.
Okay, I'm gonna choose trust and value.
Okay.
I'm kind of this.
Gotta choose.
You have to choose.
Right now it's a choice.
commitment.
Well,
You can see the
Okay, who
non-designer
wants
over
to
here.
start? You guys gonna
that
discuss
doesn't
amongst
really
yourself, or
matter.
are you
I'm
just
going
gonna
to
go ahead? I
Okay.
have a hard time not being in your corner too.
I know,
I
that was
know.
the-
Which one is
that was
hers?
my
The
second
Forecasting.
forecasting.
You don't get
That was
to
the
that.
second one.
Okay,
You're
then
not gonna
most
get
are
to
over here, so
development.
you
Reason to
explain why.
forecast.
Everybody has to listen. Now, I guess we're not gonna talk much.
Okay. Under development? Under the project
Well,
itself?
I think because of sketch, you know, I just feel the sketch gets you there. It is one thing that gets you in their room until you get to their room. It's the closest thing. And what's F&F?
Frame and fabric.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the commitment. If you don't know what you want, the frame, fabric, whatever, Lord have mercy. I mean,
We gotta make
we gotta
sure
start
that,
somewhere.
we gotta make sure that what we have is what they want.
Right.
Yeah, the
So that
development, yeah.
we can't just pull stuff out of the air and say, okay, you can have this.
And if you're still at Bassin, a little bit over at Rooms to Go, and you're still kind of lazy, I mean, you're not in, you know. So to me, frame and fabric
Yeah,
is
great
important.
Well, the development of the
Whitney?
whole thing,
Yeah.
because go ahead.
I know, the development is where you get them on the trust. I think that's where that comes in. If they understand if you can understand what they're trying to tell you that they don't even know they need, then I think that goes even farther. So if you can actually have that understanding with them, I think that they're going to trust you and then want to work with you. It's all
Great
about
point.
establishing it.
Great point. Okay, we're gonna hear from another corner.
I think the trust is when they walk through the door. And you said it yesterday. They have what, 60 seconds to look at somebody and make that
Right.
decision.
Right.
And I think that trust starts immediately.
But can't they go to Bassett or anywhere? I mean, when you're saying trust, you mean with a salesperson?
Yes, with the
Okay, gotcha.
salesperson.
Okay.
Yeah,
Makes
because
sense.
it's up to that salesperson the moment they walk through the door
Exactly.
to be able to connect with that person on some sort of a level within those seconds. And I think that's where it starts. I think it's when they walk through the door.
That personality and knowledge that they immediately feel and recognize from the sales consultant. And they don't get that down the street.
But I think this one is the foundation. Without this step right here, you got nothing.
No.
Without us, we're not going over there.
If I've got the best corner, mine's about money. Unfortunately, money is what drives this business.
True.
And if we don't have money, we have a lot of great ideas out there. And it's the most important thing because it has to be talked about in the process wherever they're comfortable at, 4,000 or 40,000, doesn't matter. And if they haven't been prepared for that purchase, they can't move their money around, they don't know deposits, they don't know financing options, and so nothing's going to happen unless the money has been taken care of. That's how it feels.
Well, I'm coming at it from a little bit different standpoint, but I think it's, any kind of retailer sales, you depend on referrals and you depend on repeat business. And if a person has had a wonderful process from start to finish, all of those parts, and nothing, no glitches, they felt important the whole time, or their friend told them how they felt through the process, then they'll come in and meet y'all at the door and get their sketch and pay the money. But if you don't have the bad things on Facebook and all that kind of stuff, everything was a wonderful process from start to finish. You'll get a referral, they'll come back. And that's what I see. And not to mention, it's all planned out, so there's less stress on everybody because you know what's next.
Right. Anybody want to switch corners?
Well, I like the money corner.
Yeah.
But I feel
I'd
like
probably join
the
you.
money's not going to come unless they trust you.
And I feel like, just like we know, we're all guilty of, you went in and you got $100, you're going to get a blouse, and doggone, there's a $200 blouse right over there, and you sure figured out how to buy the $200 blouse.
That's
You
right.
lie about it.
Because I want it.
That's true.
They'll do that.
That is true.
You know?
Yeah.
And forecasting.
I know.
How important is forecasting? It's huge.
Yes.
Customer doesn't
Yeah.
know what the plan
Yeah.
is. They're going to say, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm going to get the sofa. I'm happy. I've got the sofa," because they're scared. They don't know what this thing looks like. So I guess the point of this, it is a great game in the Saturday morning, or because is there one corner that's the best? No, they work absolutely hand in
Can't have one
hand.
without the other.
And yeah, so it's a fun one. It gets a lot of, and then it's real fun when you have a big group and all of a sudden they switch over and then they I've had it where I had to diffuse them because they got so mad.
Idiot. I know, because I think one interesting part of it is to take the one you think is the least important and then to begin to defend that. And that gives you that
Wow.
round of growth.
Excuse me.
It's like, if you're really good, and it's just like that in the sales process, if you're really good at the chair demo, but you're not good at the sketch, now let's focus on the sketch. And if you're good at the sketch and getting the in-home, but you're poor at the demo, flip-flopping, now you tell me why this part of the process is so important. How are you going to defend it?
Yeah.
So then that kind of gives you the different perspective. So
I tell you, it was powerful, exciting, seeing after our meeting how every single sales associate was sketching.
we were here yesterday.
We sold every client. We sold them all. We sold
Yeah.
chairs.
Uh-huh.
Because the sketching makes it a different experience. It becomes all about that client. It doesn't just become, oh, you're a chair customer. You're a client that has a room, that has a house, that has a need. And it was beautiful. I was really excited coming home.
Well, I love the four corners.
Yeah, it's a
Isn't that
fun game.
All right, so let's practice the weaving.
Okay.
Let's just role play
Okay.
that for everybody,
Okay.
and I'll just be the customer. You're gonna be the salesperson.
Right.
It's not really the MCR, but what you're gonna see is the weaving, because the weaving is where we move from the rat-a-tat-tat questions. Like, well, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. Which room? Sofas or recliners? Had it long? Blah blah blah. It's just question, question, question. And so weaving removes that questioning a little bit, takes you out of it, gives you rapport building time, but then you move back into your questions. So these aren't necessarily going to be our questions in our specific process, but we want to look at what the weaving looks like to build that, to kind of release some pressure and make it a little more authentic inside the encounter.
Sounds good. I was going to say, here's some great, unusual lifestyle questions. Really be part of the weave. I don't know if we
Okay.
want to take, but I want it just to be natural.
Okay.
So, should I say it? Should I say them?
Well, yeah, let's
Or just-
yeah.
These are some lifestyle questions for development. This would be for weaving. It's Tuesday at 7 o'clock. What's going on in the space? In other words, it's all about what's happening in real life here. How many stores have you shopped at? Scary question, but it's very insightful. What have you seen that you liked? What's your favorite color, style, pattern? Would you consider your family casual or formal? What do you wish your room had that it currently doesn't? Chargers for iPads, ottomans for storage, surfaces for drinks. What's the main function of the room? Tell me about your inspiration for the room. What does your dream room look like? What does your dream room feel like? How many pets do you have? Who lives in the space? How many seats do you need? How often do you entertain? Those are just a few, just good in-depth questions. Okay, so of course you can have any of these. Are just things I pulled off the computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's take it to the point that we are. Let's just do yesterday's.
Okay.
But let's not do a TV again. Let's do a chair. Should chair.
Okay. A chair costume.
Okay. So, Bess. No, I don't even know your name. I'm gonna get that.
And Mrs. America to you.
You are. No, I think we have to start from the beginning.
Okay.
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 So, well, hi.
Ah.
Hi, hello, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Just looking.
Well, great. Welcome to the store. So, you enjoying your day off? Oh, great, great. What are you doing? Anything fun today?
No, I'm just trying to wrap up some loose ends on our house.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's kind of exciting.
I guess it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I know on my time off, I'm just all about, well, now that it's so hot, I just spend all my time in my pool.
I know. It's
Because
great.
it's like
That's,
you
I'm
just
headed
have to-
there this afternoon.
Yeah, you have to figure out how to
I'm going
survive
to
this.
Unless the thunderstorm happens.
Which is it going to happen?
Well, you never know.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
never know. It
Well,
won't last
it's true.
long.
No,
you know
it
it won't last
no,
long.
no.
7 minutes and you have a different weather.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Well, welcome. So what room are we working on today?
Oh, it's a family room.
Family room. Great. So this is a room that you gather and
Yeah.
kind of do all your stuff in?
Yeah.
Great.
I'm just looking for a recliner.
Absolutely.
for my
Well, you
husband.
came to the right
Yeah.
place.
Oh,
We've been
good.
selling recliners for 87
Oh,
years.
good. Yeah, well, I thought so. I thought
Excellent,
so.
excellent. So tell me a little bit about what this room's like.
Well, it's just our family room. You know, we gather in there, watch TV.
Yeah.
It's just my husband and me.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Is it attached to the kitchen?
No, it's upstairs.
Oh, nice. Okay. You know, that's kind of
Well, it
a
is because
popular
it
thing.
hides away.
Right,
You
right,
can't see
right.
it.
Well, so what does this
He's a
recliner
slob.
need to match?
Well, it needs to go. It's just our family room. It doesn't really. I don't know.
Okay. Because it helps for me to know what style and what the look is. It helps me get you to the right recliner because I don't want you to have to try on 47 recliners.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, style-wise, comfort-wise, what are you guys after?
47?
Oh, actually, that's more like
Are
110.
you serious?
Yeah, but trust me.
Oh, my
I know,
Lord, no!
that's why I'm asking you a few of these questions
47.
today.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
No. Well, you know, it's just like a study. It's just a dark brown room.
Okay.
You know, he's had a brown leather recliner.
Okay, and how has that worked in the past?
Well, it's worked pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, it's too good. It's
Yeah.
worked too good.
Well, you want to be comfortable in that chair.
Well, I
though,
think
too.
he is.
Yeah.
I think he is.
So, style-wise, are we contemporary, traditional? Do we have any
It's just
idea?
I think it's very traditional. Room.
Traditional,
Yeah.
right.
Traditional.
So would you say this is a little bit more of a comfort room?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, you want to relax
It's a glob
at the end
out
of
room.
at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, I'm just thinking, if you're where's your TV going to be in this room?
It's over here.
It's over here. Great. Recliner's going to sit over here.
It's here.
Here.
There's one in there now.
Okay.
I'm just replacing
Where
it.
are
Yeah.
you going to be sitting? And by the way, I'm in your living room, and I don't know your name. I'm Julie.
I'm Beth.
Beth, nice to
Julie.
meet you,
Yeah,
Beth.
nice
What a
to
pretty
see
name.
you.
So your recliner's here. Where do you sit? Where do you hang
Oh,
out?
I'm usually right here or here.
Okay, and is it in
That's
a
the
sofa?
That's the sofa.
Great. And do you have another sofa here or a
No, I
love
have a
seat?
chair.
A chair. Okay.
Yeah, and then there's a table between.
Got it. How's that working for you?
Oh, it's going pretty well.
Yeah,
It works
yeah,
pretty well.
yeah, great.
Yeah.
So right now your husband has a brown recliner. Is that
Yeah,
what you
just
said?
a big brown leather.
Okay. So we want a little more style going on in this.
I think it's going to have to be a big brown
Yeah.
leather.
Okay. Because but we can make it pretty attractive. Colors on the rest of the room.
It's brown.
The room is brown.
Brown.
Right, brown.
Brown.
Brown. Okay. And how do you feel about that?
Oh, I like it.
Okay, perfect.
It's all it's like an espresso dark brown.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Then dark
though.
brown leather and
Excellent.
sisal and white.
Oh,
Pops of
ooh,
white. Yeah.
look at that. pretty stylish.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. What type of floor is on that?
It's a sisal product. It's
A
sisal.
wall-to-wall
glued down.
sisal?
Yeah, it's a
Oh, I love that. I completely lost my train of thought. You got me saying I have any vitamin D. She's going to offer you a job.
We need some tea.
I am going to offer you a job. So tell me about your tables in the space.
Well, we have an antique table here. It's an antique, I forgot the name of it. It's a English game table that's like.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So, like, grandkids, anything like that? Kids?
A ton of them.
So they come and
keep
play on that?
coming, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it is.
So, tell me about your
Very
husband.
expensive.
What, I mean, are we talking, just to get the right size, are we talking?
He's normal. He's
Normal?
just a little
Okay.
under 6.
So when I look at, when I'm thinking about this style, you got sisal, you've got espresso, I mean, that's a very high-end look. So tell me about your sofa.
Well, I got it here actually.
Did you?
Yes, the Zoe.
I remember the Zoe. That was a beautiful sofa. How's it holding up for you?
It's doing great.
Yeah,
It's
great.
doing
And what
great.
color was that?
With
Brown?
Dark brown. Remember that waxy brown? It was that waxy
Yes.
brown? Yeah,
Pull up.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
very nice.
Yeah.
Is the chair the same?
Yes.
Okay, great. So really we're concentrating on the chair today.
Yeah, but I'm not really opposed to changing out the sofa.
Okay, because the Zoe is a beautiful sofa,
Yeah.
and that's it kind of describes that look that you're talking
Yeah.
about. That it's sophisticated, but it's also comfortable.
Yeah.
And
Serves as a bed.
yeah,
The bed before bed.
exactly. So if you were going to change, what colors would you maybe change to?
I'd like to go white.
Yeah, I could
Change
see
it to
that.
white.
Like white
linen,
leather again.
a linen.
A linen. Okay.
Linen, yeah, soften it up.
Right. Remember what we said, what percentage, well, we didn't talk about this in ours, but only 7% of what people understand is words. 7%. Okay? 35% is inflection and the way we say it, and then 55, and my numbers aren't coming out quite right, but 55% is what body language is. So, people are so worried about what they're, especially in the beginning, when you're really just attempting to make rapport, you're trying to make rapport. She doesn't really care about the fact that I'm in my pool a lot, but I'm just getting her to like me. I'm getting her to react to me in a positive way. Because if I'm all brittle and all hard and all business, she doesn't want to work with me. She's a classy, fun lady. She wants to have a good time. So that's where the weave is indispensable, because it just gets people to talk to you. That's all I want. I want people to talk to me because I can help them. So yes, in the beginning, I definitely did my social. Where else did it hit?
You offered her a job.
Yeah, you offered her a job, yes. Yes, and I actually have offered clients jobs before, yeah, or come in and visit us. How about when we started?
The rug.
Yeah, the rug, and you always want, you don't want to do it every time, but you want to interject that, taking them out of business, making it, because you don't want the pressure building up. You want to turn a spin and you want to make a comment about how pretty that is, or how stylish you got going. Compliment her, build her up, make her feel confident in some of her choices, and then she's going to turn to me. But that little exercise that I was talking about yesterday, that if they count at the back, if you do role plays, have them count on the back how many times they weave. It's really successful because they think they're doing it more than they are. And, we'll just sit there and we'll go, okay, she wove. She wove again. She wove again. And you need to have that a very high number, or the interaction is going to be robotic. So.
All right, so can you give us a quick definition of the weave?
A weave is, well, it's weaving just like fabric, in and out, business, social,
Okay.
business, social. Yeah, it's just that back and forth.
Okay.
And you can't
But
do it all the time, but
yeah.
you do want to do it a lot.
So it's bringing, but it's always with the goal of getting to the sketch, to the room, to
Yes.
the problem, to the solution.
To a connection, even.
To a connection.
It's
Okay.
in the beginning, it's to make a connection with someone.
Okay.
But then it's getting them, because really it's getting them to, you're affirming where they're going. Because ultimately you want that to funnel down to a sale.
Mhm.
And so you want them, if they're saying this, you're affirming, oh, I've been seeing that a lot in model homes lately. Or yeah, I was just in a client's home that we did that and it was really beautiful.
So the story is just as important.
The story,
Having the
absolutely.
story, having the design story. Phil found and how you felt the
Mhm.
same way.
Mhm.
That's what we found.
Right.
You wouldn't believe, but it has to be a short story.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. The transformation was, I couldn't believe it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've seen that. So validating the desire, validating the choice, and then having the story. So working on that. So how would you work on that story? What,
They just need to practice it. They need to practice.
just practice the story.
I think some of it would be, you know, like we talked about, taking your time. They're so quick.
Slow down.
Slow down. Talk to them. I would think that it'd be this is just off the cuff, but I would think if you gave someone the scenario like we did yesterday, okay, this is your client, they're this person, they're looking for this, see how long it takes them to get where they need to be. You know, the truth matter is in ours, it took us 6 minutes, but we got to the point that we had built rapport and I was going to be able to lead her to product and you know, I would see, because it's going to be a little longer than just one that's accusational. It's just questionable.
And the truth of the matter is, I'd love to have a cream-colored sofa. It would so die.
It would
in my
be,
house.
oh yeah, and
It
a
would
linen.
die. Oh yeah, Stuart would love it.
Yeah.
What sofa would you go with?
Well, I don't know.
Well, I would put you in the Maya
the Maya.
because it's the closest to the Zoe with a little more traditional arm on it.
I kind of like the Talbot, but you know the
It's
one I
not big
really
enough
like.
for you. I love the
Is the Maya the one
Talbot.
with the tufted back? That's
Oh, or the
because that looked
Brennan.
pretty and white with
The Brennan would be
Oh,
good.
like
The Brennan would be
Brennan.
good. The Brennan would be good. That's the one. Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Yeah, that's let's go look at it.
let's go look at it. Yeah.
Be right back. I'll stay right.
Yeah. But you know, when I think about this, you've got to realize these salespeople need our help, because I know the things that need to be talked about. You guys know the things that need to be talked about. Can they? You know, I've been in this field for 35 years, and I still get thrown once in a while. You know, and so they need our help on how the questions, how to ask them, work with them. I'm always work. I mean, I'd say in the stores, when I'm visiting a store, I spend most of my time working with the sales associates, and we're role playing. And usually, I become the salesperson because they need to hear my words. They need to hear what I'm saying. Because that's what they'll say at the end of it. They'll go, "Wow, that was just so that was so conversational." You know, by the time I book the house call, it's not this. You need to have a house call. It's this is the right thing for you. Look at this beautiful space. Let's do it justice. Let's get, and we have a complimentary service for our purchasing clients. But they need to hear our words.
We have a complimentary service for our paying clients.
Purchasing clients.
Purchasing clients.
Right, a complimentary service for our purchasing clients. They need to hear those words.
Rather than just come in and say, "Oh, I like what you have. Yeah, what you have works. That one
Yeah.
chair would be perfect."
Yeah.
Yeah.
For that purchasing.
That's part of that. Is it close or is it closed? It's closed because they're purchasing. It's
Alright.
not just ideas.
All right, so we've got to move now to, but let's recap. So Nikki, today after we're through, you know, at 12, sit down with them, number them, date them, you know, give them 10 each, and then you can change the dates tomorrow. And then meet after each,
Yeah,
after
meet.
every couple of hours and look at it and see what's going on.
Okay.
And don't give it up after a week. Keep
No,
after
do it
them
for
because
two
yeah,
weeks in a
because
row.
they say it. What is it? 21
Let's
days.
go to August
do
1.
have it.
Yeah, let's go to
Yes.
August 1.
You were talking about the complimentary
months.
service for purchasing clients.
Yes.
What if they come back and say to you, well, what if we don't purchase?
Then you're going to say, well, you know, maybe right now is not the time. Have you finished? Have you
Or
finished
we
shopping
can look
yet?
in the store, stay in the store,
Yeah.
you know, solve some
Because no
problems.
matter what, they should always at least get the product, the
Okay.
stuff that they're looking. That's why I'm saying don't pitch it until they're pretty darn sure about the upholstery. That's that sweet spot.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Because I'm not sure how y'all do it, but I was listening about, like, you say you get their name and you may have their information right, so will they have that kind of stuff so that if they know it's a chairperson, but in the future they're gonna be looking towards other things so that there can be a follow-up later?
If you're
Yeah.
doing the one behind you, trust and value, inside your encounter, you're gonna get those numbers. You're gonna
Okay.
get the name, you're gonna get the numbers. See, that's the whole purpose.
So they're doing that, but I mean, that's
Yeah,
another thing.
yeah.
She's also Miss organized follow-up lady. That's her specialty.
Yeah.
So, are you thinking that if the client is just a chair customer today, how do you keep your files?
Right,
Yeah.
because you've already kind of developed something, in trust, and you're forecasting towards, so how do you, I didn't know.
How do you stay in touch?
Right, well, I'm just asking, I don't know y'all's system of how you stay in touch, so.
Well, that's a great question.
We use files and we use,
We use files.
client books.
Okay.
We keep our own
Client
client books and
Okay, that's
each
cool.
individual salesperson, and then Jennifer keeps her files. And then we can go to Jennifer and she has a file on the house calls.
Cool, okay, see, I'm not knowing y'all's process, sorry, little sidebar.
That's
All
a
right.
great question.
Let's take about a 3-minute break, freshen up if you need to, and we will start on our
Case good
Case
training.
I did like the way you introduced yourself. I'm in your family room with you, and I haven't even told you my name.
Don't even know
I
your name.
love that.
That was cute.
If you
Love
don't get
that.
the name before, get it then.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
just cute, because how can you not see
Yeah.
that?
I'm in your living room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Is that
Because I was
them?
just asked
Yeah.
that the other day on the Magic Carpet Ride. They said, when do you, because when you have a new person, she goes, and I immediately introduce myself when I meet them. That's just something I do because I think it's only appropriate. And I said, I don't even know how to really, it comes natural, to
Right.
meet them. And so that is awesome because I
Uh-huh.
can take that back tomorrow. I'm so excited.
I think generationally, you're younger than me, but handshaking is part of what most of us 40, 50-year-olds do.
Right.
I do.
But the younger generation,
Oh, they don't know what
They
they're
don't.
on.
Fist
Yeah, it's
pump or-
and it's going to get more and more so, because there's less physical contact. So you got to figure out ways to, yeah, I agree. All righty.
All right, let's quick break.